A lot.
Is it because it went from you were a performer in the ring to now you're the Undertaker's girlfriend?
Yeah, now I'm getting everything because of him. Yep. 1000%.
What was the first time you met Mark?
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey guys, we're here at the Locker Room, Toxic Ring Scandal, aka KDH here. We're going to talk about Michelle McCool only in the Hall of Fame because of the Undertaker. Does she deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Let's get the likes as we come into the Locker Room. We about to air some dirty laundry. Now, we know recently that Michelle McCool has been inducted to the 2025 Hall of Fame this year, WrestleMania weekend of WrestleMania 41. The announcement was made by Triple H on the show of Get Up, and a surprise shocking to Undertaker and Michelle McCool, who's both on ESPN. They did an interview. They were just on the show talking about, wrestling, talking about a little bit of football, just covering everything. It was a real shocker. Now, we know Michelle McCool is the real-life wife of WWE Hall of Famer as well, The Undertaker. Now, they said that ever since she started dating Undertaker back, I want to say 2008, 2009-ish, that she only got upper in the card and where she at because of the Undertaker. But let's look at her accomplishments. Michelle McCool is a two-time Divas Champion and a two-time WWE Women's Champion, making her a total of a four-time Women's Champion in the WWE. During her career, she's been on shows like WWE Raw, WWE SmackDown, and she's also known to being the first ever Divas Champion, winning an inaugural championship. But she's done a lot in her career. I know that, Michelle McCool is mostly on SmackDown. She did stuff with LayCool alongside Layla, who's also been a former women's champion. They had segments there. I know one of the most controversial segments and storyline was about Piggy James, making fun of Piggy James' weight, which is crazy because Piggy James wasn't overweight. But anyway, she's done a lot in WWE. I think she signed with WWE as a part of the Divas Search. I know that she also was in the late 2000s and early 2010. Michelle McCool will go on to retire in 2011, I believe May 1st. Her last match as a full-timer was, I want to say, Extreme Rules 2011. Now, we will see Michelle McCool, especially recently in WWE arenas alongside The Undertaker. We will see her in the Royal Rumble that I think she did a couple years ago. We will see her make an appearance. We'll see her backstage. But I know she has stated that she wouldn't mind wrestling some of today's current talent like Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, I believe, and many others. Soon we'll hear about her induction to the Hall of Fame by Triple H, and then her interview with Chris Van Fleet of the criticism of dating The Undertaker and the backstage politics.
Congratulations.
A lot.
Is it because it went from you were a performer in the ring to now you're the Undertaker's girlfriend?
Yeah, now I'm getting everything because of him. Yep. 1000%.
What was the first time you met Mark?
There was a point where after dating for a while, I had to tell my family. And it all started with, okay, before I tell y'all, he's not what you would think he is or what we've seen on TV. So that was how I always prefaced it. But, he's a charming guy. It didn't take much. We clicked. We got along well from the beginning, and it just gradually built. And that came with a lot of trouble or not so much trouble, but a lot of hate backstage that led me to, the last 2 years I was there, I contemplated gosh, I don't want to hate a business that I love so much, but thought about leaving for, 2 years prior to when I actually did. And a lot of that had to do with just the, from writers to some talent to, and was it fair? No. Were there a lot of people dating? Yeah. But because it was Mark, I got everything from that point not because of the storylines we pitched every single week, not just for myself. I have to have an opponent for myself and other people. I know I can look at myself in the mirror and know my work ethic was there, know how hard I worked day in, day out. When he started riding on the bus, I would wait until the arena cleared, but I didn't want anybody to see me even get on this bus. Like it was, but it is what it is.
Is that what led to you wanting to retire?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. I mean, the schedule's grueling. It was a constant fight, like we spoke about earlier, week in, week out. And it was a lot. It was a lot being with him
What were the last, call it 6 months of you deciding like, okay, I am going to retire?
Yeah. I don't think I told anybody other than Mark and Layla. She knew it was coming. I wanted to enjoy it. It was hard because we were still fighting for, that last match or that last, build up to the last match. And it just, I don't know if I ever got true closure because it's like I didn't really want to leave, but I didn't want to, like I said, hate something that I loved my entire life and still love to this day. So it was a tough decision. But I had to just try to find the good, always try to find the good. I have some very dear friends to this day that I take from the business.
It's got to be difficult because it's not that you couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You were early 30s.
Yeah. And I did know that I did want to have kids. So that was a huge, obviously a huge part of that decision as well. So I don't want to negate that. That was huge. But yeah, it was hard.
But that's a big decision as well, not just the retirement, but if you take it one step before that, like deciding, yes, I am going to not just date a wrestler, I'm going to date the wrestler. I'm going to date a top guy.
I'm going to do it.
But it's a big decision to make because it comes with all these repercussions afterwards. And you would have to, assume that that's going to happen. Maybe it was worse than you thought.
Wait, yeah. Well, I just know that I wasn't the only one dating guys around there.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't see that from anybody else, but.
So did it feel personal then?
Not so much personal to me, but because he is the top. Mm-hmm. He is the top. He is the benchmark for everybody. And so I think people looked at that differently. Like he has whatever pool he wants is what you think. And you can ask him. And I actually am so stubborn. I'm like, I don't ever need any type of help to fight any battle, to fight a storyline, to pitch a storyline. I can look in the mirror and just say, that's never happened. Now, there was one time a little incident happened with a guy, and I had to beg him not to say something. Even though this guy was calling Mark and wanting to talk to him and apologize and everything else, which he didn't answer. He made him sweat it out for several weeks, and all's good now. All's good. Totally fine now. But I mean, just the point being, that's my nature. That's my character. That's how I've always been my entire life. Like, to a fault, I don't need help from anybody. I can figure this out. I can chug on through and get something done. But, there were writers that literally threw up their papers. If she wasn't the Undertaker's girlfriend, she, wouldn't be on the show. Or a couple times, I will turn my cheek a million times, but I'll also stand up for myself. And there were a few times I can remember, like a handful, where I had already talked to somebody earlier in the day and they had treated me one way. And then, of course, they see me and Mark together. And I have to say, guess what? I didn't change from 10 minutes ago. So treat me the same way you treated me when he wasn't standing here. It's like,
Now, that was Michelle McCool on Chris Van Fleet talking about the criticism of The Undertaker, her retiring, want to start a family, which she now has 2 children with The Undertaker. And her and Undertaker, been married for, I believe, about 15 years now. Now, Michelle McCool also, she stated how people were acting different towards her when it was just her backstage by herself. It would be no problem going over storylines. However, when they saw with The Undertaker, it was a whole different vibe. And she didn't like the fact that despite her putting the hard work and despite being a great performer, doing everything she can to be the best performer that she could be at that time, that it was always a asterisk next to her name because she's with the Undertaker. At the time, Undertaker's girlfriend or whatever, she went as far as saying in the interview that she didn't want Undertaker to get involved in her affairs. She wanted to handle everything on her own. And I respect Michelle McCool for doing that because she could have easily ran the Undertaker for everything, knowing how much power, how much pull he has in WWE, especially the relationship with Vince McMahon and Undertaker, that we know these guys are still cool to this day. But Michelle McCool, I will say this, she has done a lot. She's innovative. Now, she's, like I said, she was the inaugural Divas Champion. She did do the tag team with LayCool. They was known for having one half of the women's championship that was broken up. I thought that was entertaining. It was funny. Now, of course, the Piggy James stuff was not cool at all. And I think that's what she get flack for as well. But she has stated also that she was not a fan of that storyline. She was not really cool with it at all. She wished if it was up to her, I'm pretty sure she didn't want to do it. But she said Mickie James was professional about it. She was cool of just doing, just do what she got to do, as well as Layla. But it was something she was not a big fan of. And also with Michelle McCool, she's a part of the women's Divas division when they was trying to get more time on their matches, more storylines. She was one of the people I heard in the beginning, before the AJ Lees and others was trying to fight for that. And she was trying to, make sure that women got as much equal screen time, or at least close to screen time as the men's performance does. So my question is that I asked, does Michelle McCool deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I would say yes, not because she's just Undertaker's wife, because Michelle McCool has contributed to the wrestling industry and WWE, and she's done everything she can. So I don't think she should get as much flack as she does just because she's married to the Undertaker. She still deserves her flowers regardless of that. And congratulations to Michelle McCool on getting inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025. And that's all I have regarding is Michelle McCool only in the Hall of Fame because of Undertaker. You guys let me know, what do you think? Does she deserve to be in there, or she don't deserve to be in there? Soon to videos will pop up, guys. You guys click the links below. Until then, you already know what it is. It's OUT.